During my 18 years of being employed with the Department of Corrections, I have worked with many people, some of which were my supervisors. Like most people that have been in the workforce, I have had supervisors that were less than enjoyable to work for, and I have had those that were a joy to work for. The supervisor that I have had the privilege of working and learning from that measured above all others was Mr. Guy Hickman. The first thing a person would notice about Mr. Hickman, even before he uttered a word, was the way he carried himself. He was a sharp dresser and always stood strong and proud. He had a presence about him that made you take him seriously. Meeting Mr. Hickman was like seeing a giant redwood for the first time. He had a strength that went way beyond that of the physical strength he possessed. His strength came from his honesty, pride, courage, and most of all, integrity. He not only served the state of Georgia through his long career, but also served in the Vietnam War, which he only spoke of on rare occasions. I thought of it as an honor when he spoke with me of the war. Considering both his wartime and the time spent with corrections is a testament of the strength he possessed. The knowledge this man carried inside him was like no one I had ever knew. I know it is impossible for a person to know everything, but he knew more about corrections than any man or woman I had ever met. I witnessed people trying to bluff him on several occasions, and he would call their bluff every time. Most people would try this only once before they knew this was not a man to be reckoned with. I do not believe that even he knew how much of an influence he was on most of the people that worked for him. He possessed a leader quality that made a person want to learn all they could, and he was more than willing to teach all they wanted to learn. He was my mentor, my supervisor, and even though we never spent any time away from work around one another, I thought of him as my friend. Mr. Guy Hickman left this world in June of 2013, but lives on in the memories of the many people's lives